It's about finesse, all right? So come on up, Lewis. So we'll turn this over all the way. This is the key, turn this over, keep the elbow straight. In the first second of this test, okay, you're perpendicular here, first second he pushes up, you feel his resistance, then you start to drive down. Don't just suddenly go right away, okay? And straighten, good. Now let's see the other side. Okay, so big significant difference, okay? All right, good. Now, when the patient has pain in the anterior portion of the shoulder and he points to, and you say to them, whenever they say, I have pain, you say, where's the pain? Point with one finger. You always ask, point with one finger, point with one finger. It's right here. You don't want them to go, well, it's kind of like here, it's kind of here, it's there, it's here. Point with one finger, pinpoint the pain. Where is it? He puts his finger here. It's always going to be long head of biceps or supraspinatus. It's always going to be long head of biceps or supraspinatus. Pretty much every time.
Donc, quand il y a mal là, c'est la tête longue du biceps ou le surépiné.
Okay? So in his case, he's got a long head of bicep situation going on here. Now, if I check range of motion, I've got to do it bilaterally. So range of motion, I'm checking right now the subscapularis range of motion. Okay? And if I'm going to check infraspinatus, it's going to be the opposite, right? So let's check infraspinatus range of motion. And I would say that there's a little bit of shortness here, a little bit of shortness in infraspinatus, not a lot, nothing too much to write home about, but maybe a little bit of shortness right in about here. Now, if you press that side, if we want to confirm, so if a muscle is short and you press on the muscle, you'll usually find that it's actually harder a little bit. Let's put it that way. So I'm pressing here, it's pretty soft. I'm pressing here, where is it? Right here, and it's feeling kind of hard. Would you agree? Is that a little bit discomfort there as well? Okay, so I could feel, now you didn't see much of a difference there, but the difference was about this much. But that was still a difference, so I'm going to mark it down. So let's mark it down. Let's take a look at how we would mark that on our charts, all of this stuff. So I need red and blue. There's one little red one over here. Where are the little red ones and the little blue ones? Oh, there they are. Those are mine. Yeah, and I won't argue back to you, don't worry. I promise. Oh, there's one blue one here, so I already have a blue one. All I need is this red one for now. So the blue was on the left shoulder, and so this is your anterior, this is your posterior, and anterior and posterior. So when you go to that left shoulder, I'm going to mark this in blue on that left shoulder. So I know that that long head of biceps is weak. I can see it right away. I don't have to read anything. I don't have to figure it out. I can just look and I can see. Now, whenever the trigenics impingement test is positive on one side, it always means that you have to lengthen which muscle? The strongest adductor is? The strongest adductor is? Of the shoulder? The strongest adductor of the shoulder is? Latissimus dorsi. So we're going to mark that in red on the left side. So mark that in red on the left side. We're always going to lengthen. This is going to be your biggest, most dramatic results procedure of all shoulders is your trigenics lengthening procedure for latissimus dorsi, which we're going to learn soon. It's going to be your yes or no?
13 years of frozen shoulder, mostly fixed with that one.
It will have been worth coming to this seminar this weekend, for the whole weekend, just to learn this one procedure. I promise that. I promise you that. Everybody will say the same thing. Trust me. Yes or no? Yeah. Yeah, I know, but
So you do the lap first?
I want to do the more practical stuff still now. And you're going to do the lap first. The lengthening of the latissimus dorsi is going to be the first thing you do with any type of frozen shoulder impingement syndrome. It's the first thing you're going to do. Okay, there's two ways to do it. You can do it monomodal, which I could show you guys the monomodal while we're at it, even for the trainers here, just for a simplistic perspective. You can get results monomodal too, but multimodal is just through the roof, right? Okay. And then shortness was also which other muscle? Did I test for shortness when I put him in this position? What was it? Infraspinatus. So the more superficial muscles are, and the big guy, and then you go into the smaller guys here, you get more, the deeper muscles, and then even here deeper in the spine. So the more superficial, the deeper, more superficial, deeper, so to speak. Anyway. Okay. So now I can see in my chart right away 3 muscles that need to be treated with either trigenic strengthening, which we call TS, or trigenic lengthening, which we call TL. TL procedures on the red muscles, TS on the blue. What else can we find? A lot of the time, a subscap might be weak in a chronic case like this. Well, let's find out if it is. Hold it here, hard as you can, go. No, he's not weak. Okay, good. And hold it. That one's stronger, but he's not too weak, so yeah, I think their left is not as strong. And then, if we're going to do more testing, we might test length of teres minor and strength of teres minor. Hold it here. Hold it hard. Push out. Push out. Here. Wrist out. Okay. We'll check strength of infraspinatus. Hold it here. Hard. Okay. It hurts when we do that.
Yeah.
It's not that weak. Hold it hard. It just hurts, doesn't it?
Yeah.
But not too weak. Okay. In there.
Yeah.
Check this one more time. Hold it here. All right. And what else do we want to do? We can do triceps here. Hold it up hard. Okay, seems to be okay. All right, we can check length of pecs. We did earlier here. Not so bad. So let's just do what okay. Now his supraspinatus is not really weak, but you know what? And his deltoid wasn't really weak. Hold it here. But, well, let's try it again. Hold it up hard as you can. 1, 2, 3. It's not really that weak. Hold it here hard as you can. Okay. So I'm not going to do. I'm going to teach you this sort of triad later. I'm just going to treat these 3 muscles right now that we found something to be sorted on. Let's do it right now. Here we go. We have that one as well. I'll do it first with. So this is the tool that these tools were not invented by me. They were invented by Ed Miller at Impact. But these tools, I got together with the founder of Impact, Ed Miller, and I said, you know, we need trigenics heads. We need heads that will create distortion and create stimulation of the mechanoreceptors to the maximum ability that we can get them. And so we came up with these tools between Ed and I. We developed these trigenics multi-probe heads.